Hey guys, welcome back to another stream. Today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be playing a new game that just came out yesterday. You've probably seen a bunch of other people playing it. I couldn't play it last night. I was at my alumni night. So that's why you didn't see me playing it. But we are playing Detective Pikachu Returns. Now, I did not play the first Detective Pikachu. I watched someone else play it, and I really, really liked it. And of course, I love the movie. So I wanted to play this. I have not seen anything about it other than like the first trailer or two. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to jump into this. I didn't want to watch someone else play. I wanted to play this one for myself. So hopefully we have a good time. So hopefully you guys are excited for it. But let's go ahead and start. Get into it here. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Oh, here we go already. All right. Select our language. Really test my language of Spanish. No, we're not doing that. That won't be very good. I haven't taken a Spanish class in years, guys. It would not go well. Yes, English. Voice language. So there's voice acting then? I think. Is that question mark? Maybe? English? Yes. I think, did the first one have voice acting? What is story jump mode? Oh, I guess we'll go settings first. Game settings. That's fine. I guess we'll just leave it that for now, honestly. Well, no, we'll do... I guess we'll just go with that for now. It's fine. Let's just hit new game. Let's just go with that. I'm excited, guys. I'm so excited.
The name's Pikachu, and I'm what you might call a great detective.
I'm gonna turn that up just a bit.
With my bolts of brilliance, I've solved many mysteries. My partner Harry and I ran into some trouble on a case. Harry suddenly disappeared, and I'd lost all my memories. After that, I was wandering the city when I ran into Tim. Somehow, he could understand what I was saying. Our goals were one and the same. Find Detective Harry, because my missing partner just so happened to be Tim's dad. While we were searching for Harry, we uncovered a series of crimes involving R, a chemical that drove Pokémon berserk. Tim and I managed to solve the case and save Rhyme City. And yet... Harry was still missing. Even now, the two of us are still searching for him. Harry. Just where the heck did you go?
And if it's anything like the movie. The game and the movie are a little different, so.
To promote an even stronger bond between the people and Pokemon of Rhyme City, I hereby proclaim this day the start of Pokemon Friendship Week. To commemorate this event, we present this award to Tim Goodman and Pikachu, who saved...
Harry!
No for his bolts of brilliance.
Oh, Pikachu, I'm sorry. I guess that's a sign I better wrap this speech up, eh?
Wow. You couldn't have picked a worse time to doze off.
Sorry.
Now then, due to the R incident of 2 years ago, some of our citizens began to doubt Rhyme City's motto, coexistence with Pokemon. So to those of you who were affected, I offer you my deepest sympathies.
The mayor. Okay, that's the mayor.
What's that?
A Corviknight? Oh no, it's coming this way!
Sir, follow me. Everyone, get inside right away!
Why is he losing his mind?
On.
Could it be? Or?
Don't think so. Its behavior's different. It's all right. Just calm down.
Oh, he took his hat.
Pikachu.
Lousy Corviknight. It just made off with my signature hat.
My dad gave you that hat.
Yeah, we gotta get it back.
Okay. You know how important that hat is to me, and Corviknight just flew off with it. What a mess. Let's go get it back. Huh? What's that? Hey, Tim, over here. It is so weird hearing Pikachu's voice like that's not Ryan Reynolds. Like, I'm sorry, it's so weird. Alright.
Look, this must be the notebook the mayor dropped. Oh, there's something inside. A family photo? This girl looks familiar. Oh, she's the one who didn't look too happy during the mayor's speech.
That's my classmate, Rachel. She knows a lot about Pokemon.
Huh? Whoa, time out. You know her? Why am I just now learning this?
We should return this notebook to Mayor Myers. Yeah, but first we gotta deal with the Corviknights. Right, let's go, Pikachu. Alright, look for Corviknight. Okay, my camera doesn't move. Oh, now what do we do? That's... Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. What doesn't look good? Oh. The P-Dove.
Oh,
Is that P-Dove unconscious? Don't touch it. Moving this Pokemon could injure it. Hey, you big guy, what happened to P-Dove? Well, I'm at a loss. Nothing we've tried so far is working. Hey, can you even hear me? You, cut your Pikachu's Pika chatter and evacuate the area. Will Butler, Chief of the Pokemon Protection Bureau. Dino can hear how healthy you are. Alright. I need to track down Corviknight and get this area evacuated, but I can't just leave this Pidove here. Hey, what happened? Calm down, Pikachu. To everyone else, you're just saying Pika Pika. I'm the only one who understands what you're saying. Oh, right. Sorry, got a little worked up seeing Pidove in such bad shape. Okay, Tim, it's on you to ask the big guy what went down. Excuse me, what happened here? Oh, you're that young detective. Yes, I'm Tim Goodman, and this is my partner Pikachu. Will Butler, Pokemon Protection Bureau, and this Audino is with the police department's rescue squad. I'll spare you the details. Right now, we need to help this Pidove. All that wind Corviknight whipped up blew it around and knocked it out. Audino used the move to help Pidove recover, but it still hasn't woken up. Chief, no civilian injuries to report at this time. Copy that. Great work. Now, I really should get back to leading the evacuation, but I can't just leave Pidove here unconscious. You ought to clear out of here too, young detective. Mr. Butler, let us help you take care of Pidove. We'll find a way to wake it up. Yeah, let a couple of great detectives handle this. You? This is an emergency situation, one that requires my full attention. Maybe I should let you help. Alright, I'll leave waking up this Pidove to you. I'm counting on you, young detective. Yes, sir. Let's go, Pikachu. Okay. That Pidove, maybe? Hey, why don't we talk to those other Pidove? Sure, let's give it a shot. Okay, let's talk to this Pidove. Hold on a sec, Tim. Before we talk to these guys, there's something I need to tell you. Yeah, what is it? Cases don't just pop up when it's convenient for us. I don't gotta tell you that, right? Right. And it's been a good long while since our last case. Well, that's true. So let's hit pause and jog our memories of how we go about investigating a case. We'll do this one by the book, alright? If you say so. Tim, this is our first investigation in a long time. Fortunately, Pidov's injuries are already healed. All we gotta do is find a way to wake it up. Some might call it coincidence, but me, I call it an opportunity for a detective work tutorial. Perfect, right? I suppose. Let's refresh our memory and make sure we conduct a full investigation. Okay, got it. First, let's quickly go over how we investigate. I talk to the Pokemon, and I talk to the people. Together, the two of us will gather evidence and take testimonies from people and Pokemon and piece them all together to solve the case. Yep, that's how we do it. Exactly. Okay, this round of questioning is all yours, Pikachu. Sure thing, here I go. Hey, Pidove, can I talk to you? I'm guessing you're pals with that unconscious Pidove. Mind if I ask you a couple questions? It says our friend's taking a nap and won't wake up. So it thinks that unconscious Pidove is just sleeping? You really love the smell of... Wait, huh? What's that got to do with anything? Nice strong aroma makes the sleepy times go away. That's what it's saying. You'd think these Pidove would be more concerned about their unconscious friend instead of chirping about some smell. I'm gathering there's a certain aroma that Pidove are really into. Guess that's all we're gonna get. Maybe we should question some of the other Pidove around here. Hey Tim, come here for a sec. Okay. Now, if you get stuck during your investigation, see the light bulb icon. You can press the left button to consult Pikachu and get a hint. Okay, so if I press... Okay. I'm a little curious about what that Pidove was saying. Yeah, its friend is unconscious, but all it wanted to talk about was an aroma it likes. Yep, nice strong aroma makes the sleepy times go away. That's all I could get out of it. Aroma, sleepy times go away. Wait, what if it was talking about using some kind of scent? And what if that scent could wake up its friend? That's it, Tim. If we can find the strong aroma those P-Dubs were chirping about, maybe it'll wake up their unconscious friend. That's what I'm thinking. It's worth a shot, at least. But how are we going to find a scent like that? There might be some Pokemon who haven't evacuated yet. Maybe we can ask them. That reminds me. Listen up, Tim. If you're having trouble during an investigation, you can call out to me at any time. I can give you advice discreetly so no one else notices. Of course, you can also just mull things over on your own. But if you get stuck, it might be a good idea to take a break or retrace your steps. That's important too. Okay, plus during gameplay. In this menu, you can save the game and change your game settings. Okay. Reread recent conversations with ZL. Okay, that's actually good. Okay, here we go. Interview Pokemon. Well, we already interviewed this Pidove, didn't we?
No.
Oh, hello. There is a Xatu here.
No.
Stares into the great beyond. Accurate. That's Xatu. You can never tell what it's staring at, or what it might be thinking. But that's the sort of Pokemon who's probably got all kinds of incredible knowledge. I don't know about that, but let's try asking if it knows anything about how to wake up Pidove. Way ahead of you. Hey, Xatu! Can you hear me? Hey! It's not saying anything. I wonder what's wrong. Oh, it wants peace and quiet while it's sunbathing. It's awfully calm given all the commotion going on. Maybe we should try asking someone else. Okay, don't ask Xatu. Oh, hell. Wait, Aromatisse. Exudes an enchanting aroma. I feel like this could be it because there's Pidove around it. You're Aromatisse, aren't you? What are these Pidove surrounding you for? They started flocking to it as soon as it got here. These Pidove have been following Aromatisse around. You're asking it to make the nice aroma? Hurry up, make the nice aroma. The Pidove are really getting on its nerves. Seems like these Pidove are all drawn to a scent that Aromatisse emits, which means Aromatisse might be able to help us wake up the unconscious Pidove. Good thinking, Pikachu. Let's ask if Aromatisse is willing to help us out. Hey there, Aromatisse. We could use some help. It'll help us out if we can get these Pidove to stop following it around. Fair enough. Let's talk to the Pidove. I just hope they understand us. Sorry to ask you this, but could you move, somewhere else? Hey, now's not the time to stop and smell the aromas. We're trying to help your friend here. Say, guess what? Pretty soon, Aromatisse is going to make lots of nice aromas right over there. They're on board with the nice aromas over there plan. So they'll move? Great. Okay. Aromatisse should be willing to help us out now, right? It's happy to lend a hand now that we got those Pidove to move. Great, let's take Aromatisse back to the square. Okay, Aromatisse, here's the Pidove. Please help it. Okay.
All right.
Hey, there we go.
Glad that worked.
There we go. Pidove's awake. Wow, Aromatisse's scent is nice. But it's kind of like a really strong perfume. I don't get why the Pidove like it so much. Glad you're enjoying it. Yep, you were a huge help, Aromatisse. Thanks. Excellent work, young detective. That perked Pidove right up. I didn't even consider getting help from the other Pokemon in the area. Oh yeah, come to think of it, a police officer was calling this guy, big guy Chief. Wonder why? How about you ask him and find out? Yes, I'm Will Butler, Chief of the PPB. The PPB? We're an organization dedicated to protecting the Pokemon of Rhyme City, the Pokemon Protection Bureau. So it's kind of like the police, but focused on Pokemon. I didn't know we had something like that. The Bureau only recently started its official operations. At the moment, we're borrowing office space at the Rhyme City Police Station and cooperating with the police. We were dispatched to provide security, but, well, just look at what happened. I can't believe a fiasco this big occurred on my watch. It's honestly an embarrassment. We were formed 2 years ago as a response to the infamous R incident, the case you two solved. Back then, Pokemon-related disturbances were happening all over the city. The human and Pokemon residents of Rhyme City were deeply affected by that. Mayor Miles was so shaken by what occurred, he took it upon himself to create the PPB as a countermeasure. He wanted to make sure crimes involving Pokemon like the R incident would never happen again. That's why this organization exists. Isn't keeping the peace the police job, though? In the past few years, Rhyme City has seen a concerning rise in the number of reported incidents and accidents. The police are struggling to handle so many incidents, including those involving Pokemon. But now, the police can protect the human population of Rhyme City, while the PPB protects the Pokemon. By dividing up the work, we can keep everyone safe. Ah, so that's why the PPB was formed. Just what I'd expect from Rhyme City. Howard really is looking out for us Pokemon, huh? Alright, I guess that's it then? By the way, young detective, I was watching your investigation earlier and couldn't help but notice. Were you explaining things to Pikachu? Huh? I don't think Pikachu understands what you're telling him, though. Unless the two of you can... I'm not actually talking to him. It's more like getting advice. No, that's not it. It's... Oh, I get it. You talk to Pikachu to organize your thoughts. Interesting way to form your deductions, if you ask me. Yeah, that's it. Well, we do understand each other, actually. That was close. I thought he'd caught on to us. Be careful. Usually folks wouldn't believe we can talk to one another. Okay. Whoa. Ah. What? Is Corviknight back? Oh, there he is.
It's back again. Come on, let's chase it down.
Sir.
Oh,
It's Corviknight again. Hey, give me back my hat, would ya? The chief went after Corviknight in his patrol car. I bet Corviknight still has my hat. Let's follow it. Oh. Those are Pokemon cries. Sounds like they're coming from the direction Corviknight flew off in. Let's go check it out. Okay, you went that way, right?
oh,
Whoa. Pikachu, look. It's an Alolan Executor. Oh, how do you like these apples? They're scattered all over the place. What a mess. Investigate the area. That's not an apple. Applin!
Flap!
It's dangerous here, Applin. You should find somewhere that's safe. That's odd. It doesn't seem like it wants to leave. Let's talk to it.
Hey,
I haven't seen any Applin in the city before. Where'd you come from? Oh, you you go to sleep in a wooden crate, and when you wake up, you're always someplace new. So the apple vendor travels to different locations, and this applin gets carried along. The apple vendor probably doesn't know about this applin. Something suddenly shook it awake a moment ago. I'll bet that was Corviknight. Same goes for these crates getting toppled over. I don't see the apple vendor. They must have evacuated the area. What happened here? So the wooden crate shook, you got thrown out, and that's when you realized your friends were missing. It got separated? Well, let's help find its friends. Good thinking. How many friends were here with you? 2? Okay, got it. From what Applin said, I get what's going on here. But as much as I'd like to go get my hat back from Corviknight, we can't just abandon a Pokemon in need of our help. Yeah, what kind of great detectives would we be if we didn't lend a helping hand or two along the way? Okay, should we investigate the fallen apples over there? I'd be happy to if there wasn't a tree in the way. Something about it seems odd to me. Maybe we should investigate that first. It's in the Alolan Exeggutor. Okay, so we can't investigate because this tree's in the way. What should we do about it? Well, we can't just cut it down. It's
Whoa,
a Pokemon.
This tree's an Exeggutor.
There we go. Wait, isn't this an Alolan Exeggutor? I'd never seen one before, so I didn't even realize that. What's it doing here in Rhyme City? Why don't we ask and get some other questions in while we're at it? We can't investigate until it moves anyway. Hey, Exeggutor, over here. Look down by your feet. Oh, don't all talk at once. How about this, Exeggutor? I'll tell you which head should answer. Sound good? Oops, forgot to say which head. About you. You, middleest head. Why are you here? Guess it's been traveling around with the apple vendor. That explains why it's here in Rhyme City. What happened?
Hey,
You, right head, tell me what happened here. Corviknight came flying through, and when you tried to dodge it, you bumped into the fruit stand. I knew it. By the way, have you seen a hat? Corviknight took mine. Guess it happened too suddenly for you to tell. Oh well. Alright. Left head, we've got a favor to ask. Sorry, but we want to search through those apples scattered behind you. Could you please scooch over a bit? Alright. Oh good, it moved for us. Now we can investigate the scene. Alright. This is where all the apples got scattered around. Let's let the investigating begin. Well, I see one applin. Remember what we're looking for? The 2 missing applin. That's right. There's a lot of apples here, so try not to overlook them, okay? Well, I mean, one is right here, clearly. Look, an applin. I found one. Have you been sitting still pretending to be an apple this whole time? That must take a whole lot of patience. Patiently staying still is one of your talents? Impressive. That Corviknight got you wrapped up in quite the mess, though, didn't it? Your friend is waiting for you. Okay. Then which one is There's a lot of apples, so it's kind of hard. I don't see any other one that really looks obviously like an applin. So I guess I'll just check these ones that are turned over, maybe? Are only good for making juice or jam or something. Okay, so wait, there are only apples left. Oh, okay, hang on. It's an apple crate. No sign of applin, though. Well, we searched pretty thoroughly. I still don't see my hat or the other applin, though. Where could it be? Oh. Did you see something move behind that crate? What? No, I didn't notice anything. Try checking again. Maybe something's changed. Examine. Oh! My hats! Corviknight dropped it. Could have sworn it wasn't here earlier. Anyway, I'm just glad to have it back.
This was a real pain.
I think Applin's under there.
Hey, get back here. The heck?
Hey, quit playing around.
Hey, I'm not playing at all. My hat keeps moving on its own.
That's ridiculous, Pikachu.
See? Told you so.
Executor.
Guess I've gotta go get it.
Guess so.
Climb Executor.
Well, Tim, lift me up.
Okay. You alright? Don't hurt yourself.
Please, this'll be nothing.
Okay, just mash when it tells me to. Alright, easy enough.
Finally got you back.
There he is. Uh-oh. Pikachu, it's an Applin. Whoa. You okay? Fine and dandy. Nice catch, by the way. Are the Applin okay too? That's a very tiny Applin. Yep, they all seem happy to be reunited. Good, glad they're alright. So one of them was wearing my hat, huh? Seeing it move on its own really threw me for a loop. I'm sure Corviknight dropped the hat mid-flight and it just happened to fall on top of Applin. Oh yeah, hey Tim, where's my hat? Don't worry, I've got it. At the end of the day, I'm just glad I didn't lose my hats.
Yeesh, that was a hassle.
There we go.
Now that's more like it.
Yeah, you look like yourself again.
Thanks, Tim. Harry gave me this hat to commemorate our partnership.
The awards ceremony will resume shortly. We ask that all participants please return to the venue at this time.
I guess we better hurry back.
That darn Corviknight. I'll let it off the hook just this once.
Oh, joy. Just this once. Next time he's gonna electrocute him or something.
Great work. Thank you. And you as well, Pikachu.
Yep.
I can't say it enough. Rhyme City owes you a debt of gratitude for your efforts. We strive for coexistence between people and Pokémon in our fair city. And you two are the ideal detective duo. On behalf of the city, I am pleased to present you with this medal.
Thank you, Mayor Myers. I'm honored.
Of course, you get one too, Pikachu.
Yeah, I'm the great detective.
Pika Pika to you too, little hero. Both of you, keep up that great work.
Way to go, Tim!
Congratulations, hon.
His family, I assume? I don't even remember much of the old game, so... Don't remember much of the last game. It's been a while. Later that evening at Tim's apartment. Okay.
Tim, I was so proud of you today.
Oh, yep. Tim's mother. Irene Goodman. Okay.
You're amazing, Tim.
Sophia, or his little sister. Okay, alright.
You think so?
Everyone knows all about the amazing work you two have done. There was the Eevee abduction case, the fossil stealing spree.
And the Rhine Tower standoff case, too. They even made a movie based on the R case.
They did?
Yeah, I thought that movie was pretty good. But how come Mom and me didn't even show up in it?
I have no idea, but movies usually do their own thing, don't they?
Yeah, I guess. the way, I've been meaning to ask you something. This is Dad's Pikachu, right?
Yeah. He's my partner at the moment, though.
I see.
Whoa, whoa. What's with all the staring?
He saved your dad from trouble many times.
Wow!
Oh, Pikachu. The news is about to start. Maybe there's an update on that Corviknight.
Yeah.
Does she understand too, or? We were gonna interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this breaking news. Oh, what's going on?
According to amateur footage we've received from a viewer, Pokémon appear to have caused an explosion. This explosion occurred in the mountain range northeast of Rhyme City. This may be related to the recent uptick in incidents involving Pokémon. Rhyme City Police and the newly established Pokémon Protection Bureau are investigating. Amelia Christie signing off.
Hey, Tim, did you catch that?
I hope that incident doesn't have anything to do with Dad.
Same here.
Mewtwo told me 2 years ago. Dad's alive, and we'll be able to find him as long as we don't give up.
Yeah, Mewtwo is still our only connection to finding Harry.
Whispering to Pikachu, are you?
Oh.
You're just like your father, talking to Pokémon like that.
Oh, really? It's been 2 years since the R incident. Since then, we've solved all kinds of cases. The mayor even gave us an award for it. I can still talk to Pikachu and understand him. If the two of us keep solving cases together, I'm sure we'll find my dad someday.
Alrighty. I wonder if we actually find him in this game or not. I wonder. The day after the award ceremony. I mean, do we really go anywhere else besides Rhyme City? Let's be honest. Do we? Do we? Whimsicott rides the wind from town to town. Aw.
Whoa, that's a lot of Whimsicott.
Sure is. They ride through on seasonal winds every year.
I hear they can be real pranksters.
If they get in a house they like, they scatter cotton everywhere.
Sounds like a pain to clean up.
Yep. The sweet smell of coffee is calling my name.
Of course.
The perfect Pikachu bait.
Tim!
Frank Holiday, Rhyme City Police Inspector.
Inspector Holiday, did you finally find my dad?
Sorry. No. I'm here on a different case. We've received reports of a jewel theft. Could you lend me a hand with this one?
Of course.
The incident occurred at the dentist residence, the mansion down the street. Sorry, but Brad is waiting for me. I'll go ahead and meet up with you there.
Okay.
So much for my coffee.
All he wanted was his coffee. Okay, let's go, Pikachu. Wait a second, Tim. What for? There's no need to rush. You gotta be calm and unhurried if you want to do your best investigating. Yeah, I guess that's true. Pikachu is a real talkative Pokemon. If you see this Pikachu icon in the lower left corner, you can press the right button to chat with him. Sometimes Pikachu will try to get your attention, and the Pikachu icon will bounce to let you know he wants to talk. If you see this icon bouncing, press the right button to hear what Pikachu has to say. Okay. Alright, Willius.
Look, I know we need to hurry, but would it really hurt if we relaxed a bit? For instance... Oh, here's a good idea. you could listen to some sage advice from a great detective like me.
Or get coffee.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, but Holiday's waiting. We better go join him. So it should be this way. There he is. I appreciate you coming on such short notice, Tim. This way, the crime took place at the dentist residence up ahead. Right? I guess let's save really quick because we have not saved yet. And I... Hang on. Let's go to the default where it goes because then it'll be easier. Alright. Exterior of the dentist residence. Okay. Oh, he's got a manetric.
Well, 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 if it isn't the great detectives.
Brad McMaster, Rhyme City Police Lieutenant. Okay, so he's with the police. It's been a while, Brad. I see you're on the case too. I suppose that means you are as well. Your private detectives do love sticking your noses into every little thing. If Mr. Dennis hadn't requested you personally, I'd be asking you to leave right now. Yep, he's still a jerk. He sounded like it, so I honestly expected that. Think he's still holding a grudge from that time we showed him up? He says no funny business. Sheesh, no wonder you two are partners. That's enough, Brad. We're going to be conducting this investigation together. This is the scene of the crime, right? Yes, this mansion belongs to Sanjeev Dennis, a jeweler. Dennis residence, okay? Mr. Dennis is one of the wealthiest men in Rhyme City. Under normal circumstances, a civilian like yourself would never have the opportunity to meet him. Make sure you don't do anything to offend him. Oh, and don't get in the way of our investigation either. He's just gotta get a dig in somewhere, doesn't he? Okay, Tim, come inside. Alright. The missing jewel. Why is M and J in different colors? First floor. There's a Growlithe in there with somebody.
I see.
Alright, Tim. Mr. Dennis is waiting for you in the room to the right. Okay, so that's Mr. Dennis then in there. Thanks, Inspector Holiday. Assuming that's you?
Oh, Tim, I've been waiting for you.
Yep, this is him. Guard at the dentist residence. Oh, he's so sad. Oh, the puppy's so sad. My name is Sanjeev Dennis. I'm a jeweler, and this is my partner, Growlithe. I'm Detective Jim Goodman, and this is my partner, Pikachu. Sorry to jump right into it, but could you please tell us what you know about the incident? About the crime that took place. The precious jewel was stolen while I was out of the house. It's called the Aurora Drop, and it's a very rare jewel indeed. The Aurora Drop. What a mysterious name. Magical, even. The thief injured one of my staff members and made off with the jewel. Oh, okay, so injured somebody. Thankfully, my staff member's injuries were minor, and yet... Is something sticking out to you as odd? Well, the police are treating my trusted butler as the prime suspect. They think the butler did it? Could you tell me a bit more about the stolen jewel? It looks like this. Most gemstones must first be cut and polished into beautiful jewels, but the Aurora Drop is said to have naturally formed into its shape. The way it shines looks a bit like an aurora. Yes, that's precisely how it got its name. The Aurora Drop has been the subject of many a tale, but it was thought to be nothing more than fiction. Even among us jewelers for the longest time, we called it the Jewel of Legend. Wow, he wasn't kidding when he called it precious. Guess it's no surprise that someone wanted to steal it. It definitely sounds valuable. Where were you displaying it? I kept it securely locked within a special reinforced case inside my jewel storage room. There are locks on both the storage room door and the reinforced case. And yet, despite all that security, it still got stolen. Yeah, let's ask about the butler. That was my next thought, honestly. Ask about the butler. You mentioned that the police already have a suspect. Yes, they believe that the thief was my own trusted butler, Barnes. Why do they think that? Because Barnes and I are the only people who can access the key in the storage room. What's keeping someone else from getting to it? The key is always kept around Growlithe's neck. If anyone but Barnes or myself attempted to take it from her, Growlithe would start barking. My Growlithe is a very loyal Pokemon. She would never allow the key to be taken by a stranger. I don't see a key around Growlithe's neck right now. The police think Barnes took it. That would certainly make sense, assuming Barnes really is the culprit. Mr. Dennis, if possible, I'd like to speak with Barnes. He's currently being questioned by the police. But you don't believe Barnes is a thief, is that correct? I've known Barnes since we were young. He's worked in this home for years and has always served us well. I'm certain that he'd never steal from me. And I couldn't possibly imagine him hurting anyone. So you're saying Barnes didn't do it, and the real culprit is still at large. That's right. Someone else must have stolen the jewel. Please help me prove that Barnes is innocent. And so that's why he called us here, to clear his butler's name. We'll talk to Barnes later. So, finding the Aurora drop and clearing Barnes of suspicion. Those are the two things you called us here to do? Could you please? You're the only ones I can count on. Our job is to investigate the case and reveal the truth. We won't know if Barnes is truly innocent until we look into this more. Yeah, the police must have some reason to suspect him. But we'll do what we can. If that's acceptable to you, we'll take the case. That's more than acceptable. Thank you, Tim. Great. In that case, may I start investigating the scene of the crime? Of course. The jewel storage room is just upstairs. I know you won't let me down. I want to talk to Growlithe. Wait a second, Tim. There's something I want to try, starting with this case. Something you want to try? Yeah, a case notebook. The writers for Detective Journal swear by it. Detective Journal. That's the magazine you're always reading, right? Yeah, that's the one. They researched the most efficient ways for detectives to organize their case notes. The solution they came up with was a case notebook. Sounds intriguing. How does it work? I'm getting to that. First, open up your notebook. Okay, X. It's apparently been stolen, but how did the culprit steal it? Investigate the scene of the crime on the second floor for clues. First, let's write in the notebook any burning questions that arise while we're investigating. We'll summarize the testimony and evidence that we've gathered during our investigation on the page below. Okay. After we've collected enough testimonies and evidence, the begin deducing option will appear. When you select this, we can start deducing the answers to our questions. We don't have enough testimonies or evidence right now, but once we do, we'll be able to start deducing. So that won't be a lock then, right? I'm guessing, when we have enough? I guess actually using the notebook is the best approach. So Tim, what do we have to do right now? We have to go collect testimonies and evidence to figure out how the jewel was stolen. To do that, we first have to investigate the scene of the crime. That's right, let's go check out the jewel storage room. Okay. Second floor. Let's see what's up here. This room is currently being searched by the police.
Whoa!
Okay. Not there. I wasn't sure if that was the jewel storage room or not. Clearly it's not, though. Oh, it's right here, obviously. Okay. Oh. The jewel storage room has been left exactly as it was at the time of the incident. Inspector Holliday's already filled me in. Please go right ahead.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Wait, there's a bunch of cotton on the floor. Whimsicott? I'm thinking Whimsicott. What is it, Pikachu? I checked out the door, but there are no signs of forced entry. Then we can be fairly certain that the thief used a key to get in. According to Dennis, this room's where the Aurora drop used to be. Let's take a closer look. Okay. What a beautiful jewel. It's so clear and sparkly, absolutely brilliant. A green jewel. The fresh green color reminds me of the forest. Just looking at it is calming. Okay. Here. This one's a blue one. Kind of magical feeling to it. And a red one. Like a boiling hot lava. It's almost too bright to look at. The area looks more disturbed than the rest. Let's start investigating. We might find a clue. Alright, don't let any details slip past you, Tim.
Let me see.
Where should we look first? Well, let's check this out first. It's been cut, it looks like? The glass looks like it's almost like a clean cut to it, like all... This is the only case that's damaged. Must be where they kept the Aurora drop. The edge looks like it was sliced clean with a blade. What kind of blade could slice this cleanly through such a sturdy jewel case? The jewel case is still locked, so it hasn't been undone. Like Dennis said, the jewel in this case was stored under lock and key, and the key to the case is a different key than the one to the jewel storage room door. I wonder who has the key then. Anything else on this part to investigate? Doesn't seem like it. The base of the jewel case is firmly fixed to the floor. Yeah, moving the base doesn't even look possible. Can I look at this? Is there a blue feather? Here's a blue feather. Do you think the Pokemon it belonged to was in this room? Maybe it's from a Pokemon that lives in the mansion. Let's look into that later. Okay. There's some cotton on the ground. It looks really fluffy and soft, like Whimsicott. Ugh. What's a bunch of cotton doing in here? That looks like part of the jewel case. Based on the shape, do you think the top half of the case was cut off? Yeah, it looks that way. It's a really clean cut. It is really, honestly. Slicing it must have taken one seriously sharp blade. I doubt a human could pull that off.
Right.
We've covered everything I was wondering about. Any other spots you want to check? I think that's it.
Okay, let's start deducing.
Oh, okay, time to deduce.
Okay.
You've probably figured out how the culprit stole the jewel by now, eh? Alright. Select begin deducing in your case notebook. Alright.
Okay.
We have a few plausible theories. Which do you think is right? How was the jewel stolen? Hasn't actually stolen the jewel yet. The culprit may not have taken the Aurora drop out of the jewel storage room. Instead, they have hidden it among the cotton fluff scattered throughout the room. The culprit cut open the case and stole the jewel. It didn't unlock it, obviously. Cut it open, I would say.
Okay.
From what we've seen at the crime scene, we can tell that the jewel case was sliced open. After that, the Aurora drop was removed from the case and taken away. Right, and we saw that the jewel case was still locked, which supports that claim. We still needed to investigate more to determine how the case was sliced open, but at least we now we know how the thief got their hands on the Aurora drop. Yeah, we've made our first step forward. Okay.
Okay.
So you understand how to use the case notebook now? Yep. Once I've got some evidence, I'll start deducing. Feel free to start deducing whenever you feel like it. Okay? After investigating the scene, we now know that how the crime was carried out. We can be certain that the culprit sliced open the case and took the jewel from inside. But there's just one thing that's strange. Oh yeah? Yeah, think, Tim. What's strange about the way the crime was committed? The jewel storage room door was locked. The jewel was stored in this room. The glass was cut, but the door wasn't. That is true. I think that is weird. The door didn't get busted open or anything, but they did cut the glass.
Oh,
The door to the storage room was open with a key, but the jewel case was still locked when it was sliced apart. That's right. So that means the thief only had one of the keys, the one to the storage room. They didn't have the key to the jewel case. According to Mr. Dennis, only he and Barnes can access the jewel storage room. I understand why the police suspect Barnes, but I'm not so sure. Obviously, it'd be best if we could talk to Barnes ourselves, but he's still being questioned. We need to ask Mr. Dennis about the lock on the jewel case. Right, after we wrap up here, let's go ask him. How's the investigation going, Tim? Oh, Mr. Dennis. Sorry, I couldn't stand just waiting around. Have you discovered anything? It does appear that the culprit used the storage room key to gain entry. We believe they then cut open the jewel case and took the Aurora drop. Is that so? I suppose that doesn't help Barnes much, since he has access to the key. I have a question for you, Mr. Dennis. Who has the key to the jewel case? I have it right here. I always carry the key to the jewel case on my person. I've known Barnes a very long time, but I still won't give him this key. Okay. The security of the jewel case is my personal responsibility. Got it. So both Barnes and Dennis can access the key to the jewel storage room, but only Mr. Dennis has access to the key to the jewel case itself. That's valuable information, Mr. Dennis. Thank you. Really? I thought I might be getting in the way, but I'm glad to hear I could help. The Aurora drop is meant to become a symbol of revival for Rhyme City. Anyway, I'm counting on you, Tim. A symbol of revival. Let's ask Dennis about that later. The thief cut open the case to steal the jewel, but they had the key to get into the storage room. And the only people who have access to that key are Dennis and Barnes, so it makes sense that the police would suspect Barnes. If the key hadn't been used to unlock the storage room, Barnes wouldn't be under suspicion in the first place. Why would he do that, knowing people would suspect him? Maybe he didn't think that far ahead. In any case, based on what we found at the scene of the crime, we can't be certain of anything just yet. We need to talk to Barnes and the other people in the mansion and hear what they have to say. Not just the people, the Pokemon too. I'll interpret for you when we talk to them. Alright, I'm counting on you, Pikachu. Okay, now that we've got our next steps figured out, let's start interviewing everyone right away. Okay. Hey Tim, there's something on the floor by the window. Should we check it out? Near the window? Oh, there's broken glass. Isn't that broken glass? No, it's a feather. Oh, a bunch of feathers. Oh. What's all this? Pokemon feathers? Sure looks like it. They're scattered all over the floor and the window's open. Maybe a Pokemon got in or out through here? Do you think it has anything to do with this case? Look at this. One of these feathers is darker than the others. You're right. The other 6 are a lighter shade of blue. Something about that is nagging at me. Okay. I can't... Okay. Let's see, what else? Anybody else up here? Besides you?
Whoa!
Okay. Still can't go in there. Okay, I thought maybe we would. Interviewing people and Pokemon in the mansion. Let's see, what's over here? Mr. Barnes in this room. I guess it would be too much to ask for us to join in, right? I'm afraid we can't allow even the great detective Tim to do that. Police protocol, you understand. Okay. Hey, I have a couple questions to ask. Got a moment? Don't want to waste time chatting while you're on the duty, huh? Awfully stubborn, aren't you? You're even harder to talk to than Brad's Manectric. Won't let us in. Yep, okay. Yep, won't let us in there.
I see.
I take it you heard what Mr. Dennis had to say. I'm guessing he also told you about his butler. He's definitely not pleased that Barnes has fallen under suspicion. It sure seems that way. In my position, I'm not at liberty to share all the information we've gathered. But if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. Thank you. At the time of the incident, what was the situation in the mansion at the time of the incident? We're still looking into that. I'm sure you'll get more direct answers by asking the witnesses themselves. Okay. About Barnes. I was told Barnes is the police's prime suspect. Well, the circumstantial evidence certainly seems to be pointing in his direction. He doesn't sound terribly convinced. Does anything strike you as odd? Yes, actually. I can't think of a single motive for Barnes to steal that jewel. He doesn't appear to bear any ill will towards Mr. Dennis, and he's no trouble financially. That being said, we may uncover a motive in the course of our investigation, but for now I can't say anything with certainty. Understood. About the Aurora Drop. I hear the Aurora Drop is an incredibly valuable jewel. The Aurora Drop's not just valuable, it's famous throughout the entire jewelry industry. Then there must be plenty of people who'd like to get their hands on it. Could the jewel have been stolen by an intruder? I can't rule out that possibility, but based on current evidence, I'd say the likelihood of a burglary is low. Inspector Holliday, I know this has nothing to do with the current case, but you want to ask me about Harry? Yes, did the police have any new leads on my father's whereabouts? I'm sorry, Tim, but we haven't made any developments on that front. Oh, well, thanks anyway. I still don't understand it myself. Harry was working on the R case when he went missing. So it stands to reason that if you followed that thread, you'd find Harry too. But the case has been closed, and we still don't have a single clue. Seriously, where did Harry disappear to? Don't be discouraged, Tim. Look at how far you've come in the 2 years since you moved to the city in search of your father. You've become such a great detective that the mayor himself recognized you with an award. You'll find Harry, I'm sure of it. And in the meantime, I'll keep offering whatever help I can. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Inspector Holliday. Alright, there's... Okay, here's people in Pokemon that we can interview. Okay, I don't see anything to investigate over here. So let's talk to Clefable. All ears for mansion gossip. Of course. Oh, there's a Lugia picture. That's pretty cool. Oh my gosh. Distracted. Okay. Oh, it's Clefable, Mr. Dennis's partner, apparently. Mrs. Dennis, excuse me. Can I ask you a few questions? Whoa, what gives? No need to be so rude. What's wrong? Seems like she's real suspicious of us. Maybe she's feeling sensitive after the incident here. Okay.
Yes? You certainly don't look like you're with the police. State your business.
Claudia Dennis. Oh, his wife. Okay. We're detective. Mr. Dennis asked us to investigate the incident that occurred here. Detectives? Oh, I suppose my husband did say something about that. Your husband? That must mean you're Claudia Dennis, Sanji's wife. I'm sorry to bother you, but do you mind if we ask you some questions? I do mind, actually. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. The case has already been solved. What do you mean? The police said that Barnes is behind all of this. So the matter's settled. We've heard that he's under suspicion, yes, but we can't be certain it was Barnes who committed the crime. You sound just like my husband, but nothing you say will change the fact that Barnes is the culprit. Barnes' partner Ducklet was up to no good. I saw it with my own eyes. Ducklet. Did you witness the crime? Barnes' partner Ducklet was involved in the crime? You look as though you don't believe me.
Excuse me?
Is it true that you witnessed the crime? Well, I didn't exactly see it clearly. But I did witness some irrefutable proof. What exactly did you see? At the time of the incident, I was enjoying a cup of tea in my room on the second floor. Just then, I noticed a bird Pokemon flying outside the window. A bird Pokemon? Yes, I clearly saw a blue bird Pokemon. It had to have been Ducklet. We did find blue feathers near the window and in the storage room. So, those were Ducklets? In hindsight, she was obviously stealing the jewel. I also heard a faint sound, just before that, like something metallic. A metallic sound? Do you know what could have made that noise? No, I don't, but the storage room was ransacked, wasn't it? I suppose she must have broken something in the act. And I've heard it confirmed that Ducklet's feathers were found in the room. Isn't that proof enough that Barnes is the culprit? She's pretty darn convinced of her own theory. But all it's based on is a metallic sound and the sight of a flying blue bird Pokemon. Pretty flimsy, if you ask me. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mrs. Dennis, but that information alone is enough to definitely prove Barnes is the culprit. Then hurry up and find whoever it is and get that jewel back. Isn't that what my husband hired you for? I get that she's upset, but she doesn't have to take it out on us.
Excuse me?
Mr. Dennis seems confident that Barnes is innocent. Oh yes, I'm sure he is. He's always been too trusting. Especially when it comes to Barnes. Those two really trust each other that much. I'm told Barnes has worked here for a very long time. Much longer, in fact, than I've known Sanjeev. I suppose that's why Barnes is always taking my husband's side. What do you mean by that? Whenever my husband and I have a disagreement, Barnes inevitably sides with Sanjeev. Even though I'm sure he believes he's being impartial. That lack of self-awareness is yet another one of his many flaws. I get the feeling Claudia's not a huge fan of Barnes. Do you think that's why she's so sure that he's the thief? About Ducklet.
Excuse me?
Could you tell me more about Ducklet? Ducklet is Barnes' partner. She dotes on him tirelessly and is always by his side. Okay. You mentioned earlier that she might be involved in the crime somehow. Would Ducklet be capable of such a thing? Yes, she even helps Barnes out with his shopping. She'd certainly be capable of making off with a jewel. Well, whether or not Ducklet stole the jewel, the one thing that seems certain is that she really loves Barnes.
Yes?
The Aurora Drop is an incredibly valuable jewel. Mr. Dennis told me the same thing. But do you really understand? Can you even comprehend just how valuable it is? Huh? I knew it. Just look at those blank expressions. Hey, my face always looks like this. As it is, I'm not even sure my husband understands the true value of that jewel. After getting his hands on something so precious, why would he want to donate it to Rhyme City? So you're against donating the Aurora Drop? Of course I am. Treasures like that aren't meant to be paraded about for the general public. They should be preserved for quiet observation by a select few. Hard to imagine her quietly doing anything. I don't trust her at all. I do not trust her at all.
Hello there, Detective Tim. Oh, I mean, Detective Goodman?
Newest staff member of the Dennis residence, Larry Turner. Okay. Wait, you are the detective, right? That's what Mr. Dennis said, at least. The name's... Wait, that's not proper enough. Sorry. My name is Larry Turner, and I'm a member of the house staff. House staff, huh? Seems in over his head. If you need anything, just let me know. I mean, please inform me if you really don't have to be so formal with us. Thanks, that's a huge relief. I got this job a while ago, but I'm still not used to talking all fancy. Uh-oh, is that a problem? Well, it's a good thing for me that Barnes deals with all the important guests. My main duties are taking care of the Pokemon, managing the house, and groundskeeping. And I can handle all that, no problem. I don't know, this guy isn't exactly filling me with confidence in his ability to do his job. Anyway, you wanted to ask about what happened, right? I mean, I already told the police everything I know. I'm really sorry for taking up more of your time. Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant. I'm not complaining or anything. It's just that I don't remember what happened very well. Something attacked me out of nowhere and I blacked out. Something attacked him? So not the thief, then. Can you please tell us more about that, Mr. Turner? Sure, no problem. Right, so where to start? I was just doing my job like normal today. I'd made food for the Pokemon, did some cleaning around the mansion, that sort of thing. I think I was tidying the garden when it happened. I saw Ducklet fly out of a second-story window. As I recall, I wondered where she was going. I mean, usually Ducklet just walks out the front door. It seemed weird to me, so I went upstairs to see what was going on. That's when I saw the door to the jewel storage room was wide open. As if that wasn't shocking enough, the moment I went to look inside, I suddenly got punched by a Pokemon. Excuse me. The next thing I knew, I was lying on a sofa and someone was treating my wounds. A Pokemon punched you? Yeah, I feel like I glimpsed a small red figure for just a moment. Based on the size, it couldn't have been human, so I'm guessing it was a Pokemon. A red Pokemon. Do you know what kind it was? I'm really not sure. It all happened so fast. I see. I'm so sorry that happened to you. But I'm glad you weren't seriously hurt. That's what the doctor said too. No Pokemon will want to steal the Aurora Drop. It's possible the culprit ordered their partner Pokemon to swipe the jewel and punch out Turner. So, Tim, now that you heard Turner's story, what do you think? We need to find the Ducklet that flew out the window, and that red Pokemon too. Yep, you got it. About the culprit.
Excuse me?
Did you see anything else when the Pokemon attacked you? The thief who brought the Pokemon along was probably nearby. Unfortunately, that's all I saw. I see. Can you think of any other details that might give us a clue about the culprit? Nothing in particular is coming to mind. I mean, Mr. Dennis is such a nice person. I've never heard of anyone holding a grudge against him. And I was really surprised to hear that Barnes is a suspect. You don't think Barnes is responsible? I guess the police must have some reason to suspect him, but honestly, I just can't believe it. Barnes is still showing me the ropes around here. He's a great coworker with tons of experience. I mean, if you'd known Barnes before all this, you could never even imagine him being a thief. Alright, about the Aurora Drop. Do you know anything about the stolen jewel? The Aurora Drop? I've never even seen the thing. It's been shut up in the storage room ever since it was brought to the house. Of course, I know it's valuable and all. I assume that's what's been causing all the arguments between Mr. and Mrs. Dennis lately. What sort of arguments? In case you haven't heard, Mr. Dennis says he's going to donate the Aurora Drop. Seems like Mrs. Dennis is against that plan. They've been fighting about it almost nightly. Every night? It must really be a point of contention. I guess Mrs. Dennis just doesn't want to give up such a valuable jewel. So the Aurora Drop's been driving a wedge between husband and wife, eh? Will you talk to me now? Okay, no, you won't talk to me. Where's Growlithe? I want to talk to Growlithe. It's Dennis's partner, Growlithe. She sure doesn't look happy. Apparently she feels responsible. No wonder she's so down. Maybe we should leave her alone for a while. No, I want to talk to Growlithe. Ask me anything you like. Symbol of revival. What makes the Aurora Drop a symbol of revival? 2 years ago during the R incident, my jewel shop suffered considerable damage. Wait, you were a victim of the R incident? Yes, some Pokemon who'd been exposed to R went berserk. Their rampage destroyed my shop, to say nothing of the damage done to my jewels and other goods. By that time, I already had the Aurora Drop. I kept it stored safely in the shop. So was the Aurora Drop damaged too? No, as a matter of fact, it wasn't. Of all the jewels in my shop, the Aurora Drop was the only one to remain unscathed. In fact, debris fell so perfectly around the Aurora Drop that you might believe it was being protected. That's incredible. I guess there's some magic left in the world after all. Ever since then, the Aurora Drop became known as the jewel that survived the R incident. People started visiting my shop just to see it, and thanks to all that attention, my business was able to get back on its feet. Sounds like a valuable jewel in more ways than one. What made you decide to bring it back to your mansion instead of keeping it at your shop? I decided to donate it to Rhyme City. The Aurora Drop? But why donate something so precious to you? It's not just precious to me, and that's exactly why I decided to donate it. Mayor Miles has done his part to improve our city. In improving our city by declaring the start of Pokemon Friendship Week, I thought it was about time I did mine. So I wanted to donate the jewel that survived the R incident as a symbol of Rhyme City's revival. I hope that by doing so, I can help liven up not just my shop, but the whole city as well. Wow, Dennis, I'm impressed. That's a wonderful gesture. Oh. Well, there went my coaster. Not that I really need it for that. It's legit just, it's a Batman coaster. I have other ones too. I have a Superman one and I also have Wonder Woman and Flash. So. I'm glad you think so. Not everyone is so pleased about it. Oh. Forget I said anything. I shouldn't burden you with concern over such personal matters. For now, I'm counting on you to find the Aurora Drop as quickly as possible. Understood. We'll do everything we can. Oh. Now then, Mr. Bronze, well, thank you not to leave the mansion until further notice. Understood. Hey, it sounds like the police finished questioning Barnes. Let's go talk to him. Yeah. Brandon Barnes. Okay. How did it come to this? Why are the police so suspicious of me? Excuse me, are you Mr. Barnes? Who might you be? I'm Detective Tim Goodman. Mr. Dennis has hired me to investigate the crime that occurred here. Is that so? My apologies. I am Brandon Barnes. I work here at the Dennis residence as a butler. Do you mind if we ask you some questions, Mr. Barnes? I realize you must be tired since you were just questioned by the police. Please don't worry about that. If you've been hired by Mr. Dennis, then it is my duty to give you my full cooperation. Thank you. What would you like to speak about first?
Yes.
At the time, I was away when the incident occurred. It wasn't until after I'd finished my errand and entered the house that I realized something was amiss. I heard Turner cry out from the second floor. When I rushed upstairs, I found him collapsed on the floor in front of the jewel storage room. So that means Barnes was the first witness to arrive at the scene of the crime. Did you see the thief or their partner Pokemon? No, nothing like that. Wait, if Barnes ran up the stairs, you'd think he would have run straight into the thief. If he didn't see anyone, could they have escaped from the second floor? Did you check the storage room? Yes, the door was already open, and when I looked inside, I saw that the Aurora Drop was gone. I then contacted Mr. Dennis and the police right away. Is there anyone who can corroborate your whereabouts at the time? Unfortunately not. It was only afterward that Mrs. Dennis came out of her room to see what the commotion was about. And the only others in the house at the time were Growlithe and Clefable. Naturally, no one can take witness statements from Pokemon, so I'm afraid I have no alibi. That's where we come in. The Pokemon that live in this mansion might know something. Mr. Barnes, do you have any idea who the thief might be? Not a clue, I'm afraid. But I do know that Mr. Dennis and I are the only ones who can freely use the key to the jewel storage room. Okay. Growlithe guards that key with constant vigilance. So I imagine it would be very difficult for anyone else to take it from her. I suppose it's no great wonder that the police suspect me, given the circumstances. But I would never do something so senseless. At least this confirms that only those two have access to the key.
Yes.
Ducklet is my dear partner Pokemon. Just look at this photo. Aww. That's Ducklet with you there. Yes, isn't she adorable? Just look at her feathers, simply beautiful. But that's not all. She's also incredibly clever and even helps me out with my work. Oh, excuse me. I'm terribly sorry. I tend to get a bit carried away when I speak about Ducklet. It's really no problem. You mentioned that she helps you with your work. What exactly does she do? Let's see. She runs errands for me, such as buying coffee beans from a local cafe. Oh, she buys coffee beans. Nice. There's a place nearby called the High Hat Cafe. Perhaps you've heard of it. She regularly goes shopping there by herself. If that's their go-to cafe, then it's gotta be for the High Hat blend. Guess I shouldn't be surprised that Rhyme City's elites have such refined taste. I asked her to go to the cafe today, in fact, but she hasn't yet returned. Could she have wandered off somewhere? Do you have any idea where Ducklet might be? Unfortunately, no. The feathers found at the scene of the crime are Ducklet's, right? Yes, no question about it. But I haven't the faintest idea why Ducklet's feathers would be there. Just the thought of her getting caught up in the crime somehow. I'm so worried I can hardly think straight. Out of all the jewels in Mr. Dennis's collection, he considers the Aurora Drop to be his most precious. He worked tirelessly to acquire it in the first place. You might even say the Aurora Drop is the physical manifestation, the crystallization of Mr. Dennis's career as a jeweler. I wish nothing but swift retribution on the thief who stole it from him. For someone who speaks so formally, Barnes is a pretty passionate guy, isn't he? Please, Tim, find the Aurora Drop. I beg you. Don't worry, sir. We're on the case. Based on Barnes' testimony, I'm really not surprised the police suspect him. Yeah, if only there was another witness at least. About that, are you forgetting something, Tim? Huh? Barnes told us that Growlithe and Clefable were in the mansion at the time of the incident, remember? Oh right, maybe the Pokemon saw something. Exactly, you can leave the rest to me. Let's go question them, Tim.
Tim.
Oh.
Yo, main Ectric. Working hard?
Oh.
Hey, what did I ever do to you?
What did I ever do to you? Alright, let's try Clefable, I guess. She still looks awfully suspicious of us. Let's try again later. Okay, apparently I tried that. Let's try Growlithe. Hey Growlithe, sorry to bug you when you're already feeling down, but would it be alright if we asked you some questions? We're here to catch the thief. And we need your help to do that. You're willing to talk to us if it'll help Sanji? Thanks. Growlithe's nickname for Dennis, near as I can tell. Oh, right. His full name is Sanjeev Dennis, so I guess Sanji makes sense. Anyway, Growlithe, can we start with the questions? Gotcha. As Dennis's partner, it's your job to guard the mansion. And we already know the key to the jewel storage room was around your neck. It's important to Dennis, so guarding it is important to you. Makes sense. She says she'd never let anyone other than Dennis or Barnes even touch the key. So that's why you feel extra responsible for what happened, huh? She's really got a strong sense of responsibility. Don't worry, the two of us are going to crack this case.
Well...
Do you remember anything about the time of the incident? You don't know because you were napping? What? Your breakfast was so tasty that you ate too much and it made you sleepy? That sounds like someone gave Growlithe something that made her sleep. Like, honestly, that's what that sounds like. Been there, believe me. What are you even talking about? You woke up when Barnes got home. That would have been right before all the commotion happened. And when you woke up, your precious key was gone. Yeah, I can tell you're upset. You'll do whatever it takes to help us catch the thief? Thanks. We'll come ask for an assist if anything comes up. She says Barnes is a kind and well-mannered person. He and Dennis are close, and she's never seen them fighting or arguing. Mr. Dennis really does seem to trust Barnes after all. And Growlithe likes Barnes too. Judging from what Growlithe says, it's hard to think of Barnes as a likely culprit. There wasn't anything in Growlithe's testimony that could help us prove Barnes' innocence. Only one left to ask is Clefable. I'll do what I can to get Clefable talking to us. Thanks, Pikachu. What? You think we're thieves returning to the scene of the crime? You got it all wrong. We're not here to steal anything. We're actually great detectives looking to catch the thief. Please, can you answer some questions? Yes, really, come on, you can trust us. Yeah, help us out, and I'm sure Claudia's bad mood will clear up too. So you're willing to talk to us then? Thanks. Guess Clefable's worried we do something bad to Mrs. Dennis.
Hey,
Do you have a job here at the mansion? No job per se, unless you count spending time with Claudia. Isn't it tough hanging out with someone so prickly? Oh, Claudia's not a bad person, you say. Sorry, didn't mean to be insulting. So Claudia's always arguing with someone or other. But when it's just you and her together, she starts to regret the whole thing. I get it now. Your job is to cheer her up when she gets into arguments. Wow, you're actually pretty nice. I bet Clefable's really important to Mrs. Dennis. Did anything strange happen today? Clefable's saying she got real sleepy while playing in the mansion this morning. Okay. Almost like Growlithe. Then she dozed off and doesn't know what happened after that. That's too bad. What do you think of Barnes? Do you get along with him alright? Claudia doesn't like Barnes, so Clefable tries not to have much to do with him. But she doesn't think Barnes is a bad person. After all, she says, Barnes ran to help Turner when he got hurt. Wait, does that mean Clefable saw Barnes going upstairs to help Turner? Yeah, it's gotta. Clefable, what else can you tell us? Clefable was dozing near the front door this morning. When Barnes got home from doing stuff outside, she woke up and greeted him at the door. Then Clefable and Barnes heard Turner cry out on the second floor, so they both went up running upstairs. So Clefable basically could say that Barnes was not in the house. And that's when, to their surprise, they found Turner on the floor. That means when Turner was attacked, Barnes was still on the first floor.
okay, let's start deducing.
Right.
Okay,
Alright, we've got some useful information. Let's stop for a moment and get our thoughts together. Based on everything we heard, is there anything that suggests Barnes is innocent? Let's review the information we gathered and see what we can come up with. I think Barnes may not be the culprit. He returned to the mansion after the crime had occurred. I think that's kind of the best one, but let me just double check these. He may be the culprit. He had access to the key. Okay, I feel like this is the most likely scenario here.
Okay.
We learned that Clefable greeted Barnes when he returned to the mansion, and Growlithe said she woke up at exactly the same time. Barnes and the others only became aware of the crime after that. Doesn't that mean Barnes couldn't be the culprit? Barnes was on the first floor when Turner was attacked. That would have made it very difficult for Barnes to steal the jewel. I'm not sure we can prove Barnes' innocence with that alone. Yeah, we can't exactly disclose that testimony came from Pokemon. No one would believe us. It looks like we're going to need other evidence to prove his innocence. Okay. We can't lift the suspicion around Barnes with Clefable's testimony alone. I think we're going to need some other kind of evidence to prove his innocence. But where should we look for it? Nothing immediately comes to mind. At times like this, it's best to try investigating other leads. We might find a thread somewhere unexpected that leads us back to this. Okay. Oh, and there's another thing. A red Pokemon that entered the mansion is clearly involved. Look for that Pokemon in Rhyme City. To get close to the truth of this case, we've got no choice but to find the Pokemon that witnesses saw. Witnesses reported seeing a red Pokemon and Ducklet. I wonder if the Pokemon that cut open the jewel case is the culprit's partner. It makes sense to think that, but no such human was been seen by witnesses. Having said that, though, we might learn something if we can find the red Pokemon. Let's head into the city and get some leads on that red Pokemon. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out what Pokemon it actually is. Oh, and here's another one. At this point, it seems pretty unlikely that Barnes is the culprit, but then why did Ducklet leave from the second floor window? Seems unlikely that it's got nothing to do with the jewel theft. Finding Ducklet would be the quickest way to confirm that. Good call. Let's head into the city and look for her. Okay. Gather info in the city. Okay, but where should we go? Should we go after Ducklet or search for the red Pokemon? If you're unsure, why don't we try following Ducklet? I think we have a better lead to go on for that than for the red Pokemon. Oh, right. We did hear that Ducklet was supposed to go buy coffee beans today. I'll bet you she went to High Hat Cafe. You're right. We should probably go search the cafe. Let's not waste any time, Tim. Alright. Not that. Save. This is... Honestly, I really am enjoying this game, not gonna lie. Oh, definitely really fun. I like the investigative stuff, of course. I'm also... I study criminology, so it's like, I love this stuff. Oh. I think, though, I might end up calling it a night because, I've been talking for a while and I can feel it in my throat. Like, I can feel it. Like, oh, I think I need to stop. Because this game is a lot more, like, dialogue-based and whatnot. So I think it hasn't been like the full 2 hours, but I think I'm gonna call it for the night, guys. As much as I want to keep going, I think I am gonna call it. I may just like continue this on my own, but I did want to like start it at least with you guys. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If I can spell, there we go. All right, but there's all the links in chat for y'all. Just so you guys have it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream, though. If you did and you haven't already, hit the follow button. Please, please do. Would really, really appreciate it. Also, go check out my YouTube channel if you want to see more fun content. If you ever miss a stream here, it'll be uploaded over there, so definitely go check it out if you want to see more stuff. But yeah, that'll be it for me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.